Welcome into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. I am Scott Beason. It is a beautiful, it's a not hot day, super hot day here in the heart of God's country. It is the 13th day of July in the year of our Lord 2026. Hope you've had a great weekend, and I hope the morning has gone well as well. I'm here, of course, Big Sky Mountain Mosley as well. Big Sky, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday. How was your weekend?
Exhausting.
Exhausting?
I didn't know housework could make you sore, but it turns out it can.
Yeah, it can. There's no
if you neglect it long enough and put it off.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're just wore out. It's hard stuff. I don't know.
I hate it.
I don't know. I'm not a housework person.
And mopping and cleaning and all that. I just live in a cave, probably.
I don't know. I think it's because I don't do it as well as my wife does it.
Yeah, I tried that. It doesn't work anymore.
Now, look, this is clearly not anybody we know. No listener's spouse. This is not reflective of anyone in our audience. But does anyone have, maybe a spouse who, like, when you start to help, you're not doing it right?
I used to.
And they have to take over? Yes. And then they're like, well, nobody will do anything. Really? you won't let them. But no, I find that stuff. I don't like indoor work, housework.
No.
I don't mind the outside as much. Even when it's hot.
I actually look forward to that compared to the indoor.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, I just don't like it. I think part of it is I don't like jobs where you can't. I mean, like if something's really dirty, which it's never really dirty usually at your house. You know what I'm saying? It's a little dirty,
right.
And that's how I miss spots. Like, well, you didn't see that spot right there. I'm like, what? No, I don't. What? Are you sure that's even? No. But like dusting's terrible.
Yeah. Oh man, what a waste of time!
if you can't see the dust.
Yeah, and the real problem is I don't know if you've noticed, but I can be a bit obsessive.
Not really. I can't even imagine anyone would think that. I've never noticed.
Everything's got to be just right, just right.
That's why this show about killed him.
When you get, yes, it did. And when you get into house cleaning, it takes me like what would take a normal person 15 minutes to vacuum.
Right.
It's like 45 minutes for me because, wait a minute, there's something in that corner. Okay.
Yeah, and the vacuum doesn't want to get over there.
All right, let's shut everything down and focus on this tiny speck in the corner because it's got to be.
Yeah, because the little edge vacuum thing, especially if the vacuum claims that it has the edge cleaner, probably means it doesn't. No, and you're like, well, how is that one little flake stuck right there?
Yeah. So what takes a normal person a couple of hours takes me most of the day.
Do you have to make sure that the vacuum lines are straight in the carpet?
Oh, yes.
That's what I figured.
Absolutely. It's like manicuring a major league ballpark. It's got to look right.
I don't mind. I like the lines, but I don't mind if I look like a star signal. I mean, the sun. Stand in the middle of the room, just push out to all the edges.
Oh, man, I do crop circles, the whole bit. It's great. Don't step on that.
My goodness. So it's all clean, all ready.
All set.
Ready to go. Did y'all have people coming over?
No.
Just spring, summer cleaning.
Well, it's been a while. So
I got you.
I've been putting it off.
Yeah. Well, I understand. A lot of stuff to do today. I guess the big news across the United States is, I guess I'll say his name correctly now in post life. Lindsey Graham passed away over the weekend. It looks like the preliminary report is some sort of heart thing, Sky.
Aortic tear.
Is that what they're saying?
What I'm seeing, yes, sir.
Aortic tear? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it was some word, I didn't know what it was because I'm not a heart person. Let's see. Christina Layla has a piece that came out yesterday afternoon. DC Medical Examiner. Let's see. Okay. Well, you know what all this stuff means. So aortic dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. So dissection's tear.
Yes, yes, and hardening of the artery, and it tore. That's what that comes down to.
Really?
I believe. Yes.
Wonder what caused it to happen. Oh, there you go, Sky. You were so smart. Bill Malugan, an initial examination from the D.C. Medical Examiner's Office has determined that Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican of South Carolina, died as a result of aortic dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. In layman's terms, this means a tear in the aorta caused by hardening.
Thank you.
Dang, Sky.
Layman's terms.
That is strong. Hardening and narrowing of arteries as a result of underlying cardiovascular disease. Wow. And you just knew that?
Yeah.
You
Well,
knew
I've
that
studied a lot of
aortic
medical,
dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular, you just knew that was a aortic tear due to hardening and narrowing of the arteries.
Yes. Yes. I've studied a lot of medical procedures and books over the past 3 years.
Oh, I got you. Wow.
Comes in handy sometimes.
Apparently it does. I mean, you just call Dr. Sky. Forget all that Sky Rizzy and all that. Dr. Sky.
Just a disclaimer and a caution. Doctors don't like it when you
Call
come
other
off
people
with too
doctors.
when you come off with too much information with them.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. It's all right, though. AI is going to handle their job.
Right.
I mean, I'm not upset about it.
At least the consultation part.
You know what gets me about some doctors? Not all doctors. Not all doctors think that they're little g gods. Some of them might think they're big G gods. But if you can go to 3 separate doctors that don't know you went to the other doctor, and it's important that they don't know which doctor you went to. So if you go to get a second opinion, it's important not to let them know who the first opinion's from. Because one thing they do know is what the first guy is likely to have told you, especially if they know who that person is. Because there is a trend. Like they say, if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Right.
Well, and here, this is not a disparagement of doctors. It is the same thing for everybody in every profession. They have a tendency to see one thing more often than others. So if you go to the mechanic and your car's making a ticking sound, that mechanic will say, oh, well, it's probably clearly a lifter. There's that guy, okay? And then you go to the other one and who will automatically say, now, look, I'm not saying these all make ticking sounds. I don't know. But the second mechanic will be, oh, no, that's clearly the solenoid on the so-and-so. Because that's what he knows. That's what he's going to look for first. That's what he's going to fix first. He's done that a number of times.
Of course.
Doctors are the same. You go in with a list of, hey, here's what's wrong with me. Dr. A is going to say, you got the gingivitis.
Yeah.
Dr. B is going to say, you got the humpdopolis or what, the condition, Humpty condition. The third one's going to say so-and-so because that's just their thing. That's what they're known for. That's what it's likely to be. 18 months later, you finally end up going to somebody else. They're like, oh, you've been eating too many baked beans. And you're like, what the crap? Really? I thought I had the conjunctivitis or whatever it was back there. And so I'm just saying, and then they also, since I said they know each other, they're going to be like, you know what? Sky's going to say it was the aortic dissection due to so-and-so, so-and-so. And then I'm going to say it was inflammation caused by whatever. And so I'm just, there's a reason they practice medicine, okay?
That's what they call it.
I'm not knocking them. You got to have them. I love them. God bless them. Just my one advice is don't be so hoity-toity, I'm God, I know everything, because I know you don't.
And don't be intimidated.
Right.
I would recommend that. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Just be careful how you phrase the question.
Well, you can't be accusatory because you definitely don't know, or I don't definitely. I'm not saying you, Sky. I'm talking about people in general. The doctors are trained. They should have that mindset of, well, this is why I think it's more this. And I would argue that talking about medical issues is just like talking about political issues or policy issues or conspiracy issues or, oh, we think the deep state did this. if you have the answers, then just answer the questions. It should be easy. Don't be offended. It's only going to take a second. Maybe you don't want to spend that much time with me, but say, well, no, I really don't think it's that. I thought about that, but I don't think it's that because you don't have this and this. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, a lot of people have that, but that's only, if you go to the doctor and you're a dude and you tell him you think you have a infection in your uterus, it ought to be easy for him to say, I'm pretty sure your uterus is not infected. You're right.
Right. That's an easy one to troubleshoot. Yeah.
I mean, maybe not in 2026. Maybe not.
Got to be careful.
Because what do we have now? Achilles has a uterus. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Back in, everybody. So, oh my goodness gracious. Sky just had one of those disturbing kind of moments. I need to call up some of my conspiracy theory people. Because let's go to Debbie first.
Okay.
That'll be much better. Debbie, welcome to the program. Thank you for listening. Happy Monday to you.
Well, thank you, and same with you.
Thank you.
No, I was going to pipe in about this doctor thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I used to work at the hospital many years ago, and I've seen a few things I shouldn't have seen, I suppose. So it makes me a bit jaded, I admit, okay? My father had heart issues, and he ended up having to have surgery. They had him on like 5 medicines. My father he's gone now, very sensitive to medication. And I asked the doctor, I said, could you please take him off of some of it? I mean, I understand he might need some, but 5 is a lot to me. And he argued with me, and I finally just put my foot down and I said, look, What does he absolutely need? That's what he needs to take. I'm fine.
Right.
Everything else needs to go. Well, that happened. He did just fine with just 2 instead of 5. I had another issue with my mother-in-law. They had her on a statin drug. She threw up every single morning, lost a lot of weight, and I looked up all her medications, and that medication can cause nausea and vomiting, etc. So I asked the doctor, can you please take her off of this medicine? You know, like I do, that statin drug is not going to let her live any longer, one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Can she please be removed from it? Well, he kind of gave me a little bit of lip, and then he realized I was very serious. And he said, well, at her age, I don't see why she needs it. I said, so thank you. No more vomiting in the morning.
Really?
So, yes, it does happen. Then another one with my father. They had him on a blood thinner. And that blood thinner was a new medication. Again, my father's passing out all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, dangerous. I mean, he's an older man.
Right.
Does this medication cause you to faint? Oh, I don't know about all that. No. You know, and give me a hard time. And I said, I want you to take him off of this, please, because he wasn't doing this before.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
He sat there, well, you don't want me to be your doctor anymore. And I said, if you want to fire yourself, you can.
If you want to
That was
quit.
the end of that. Well, no, he said my father again, but he knew I was serious, and he took him off. Guess what? No more fainting. So sometimes you just have to use your common sense.
Right.
If you know you didn't have problems beforehand, and all of a sudden you got this whole bunch of problems afterwards, I got a friend, Humira. She was having seizures, couldn't talk, nothing. She took and stopped taking it. All of it went away.
Wow.
So you really have to be careful. These doctors are taught one thing in school, and it is to help the pharmaceutical companies pass the medicines on to other people. That's the whole idea behind this. They don't worry about, nutrition. Now, some doctors do. I have a doctor. He is into nutrition. He does that first.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very effective if you got somebody that knows what they're doing. But they're not trained in this.
Yeah,
So
I
they
feel
don't go
like,
to that.
and I'm speaking totally out of ignorance, Debbie, but you've been involved with it. But I feel like it's not only society, but the medical establishment that passed it on to society. The old what's the phrase, Scott? There's a pill for that, or I've got a pill for that. And when we have this feeling now that we just take a
have to go to
magic
the
pill and it's just going to fit, and like it's programmed just to do away with whatever your symptom is. But I had a person tell me a long time ago, and this could be totally wrong. Scott, you're talking about stuff you don't know anything about. Maybe I am. But they said that every medicine is poison. And
A lot of it.
and no matter how just little it is a poison. And theoretically the poison affects you in a certain way to stop this symptom or that symptom, and you just have to know that there's a chance that it actually poisons you. And
Well,
I've kind of looked at it that way since that time. And I just fortunately I've been blessed not to have to be on any medicines, but I would probably think long and hard before I started any.
Well, Dr. Wimpy, he's gone now.
Mhm.
He used to be a chiropractor in Montgomery. He did nutrition, and he said if it is not natural, and think about our food now, think about our water, think about everything we're involved in. If it is not natural, the body does not recognize it. It does not know what to do with it. It's got to get rid of it.
Right.
How? If you cannot breathe it out and get rid of it, if you cannot sweat it out and get rid of it, if you cannot use it,
Yeah, pass it.
1 and 2
Right.
and get rid of it, then it's going to be going somewhere else. So it ends up in the muscle, or it ends up in the fat, ends up in tumors and cysts. And tumors and cysts are this really cool way of the body gathering all that poison up and putting it in a little, confined area, like a bubble,
Right.
like a balloon. And what do? We go poke a hole in it to see what's in there and let it all out
And
in our
we're like,
biopsy.
yeah, it's bad stuff in there, and it's all
Quite an
leaking out now.
explanation.
Yeah. No, I've heard
So-
that a lot of people end up with cancer spreading throughout their body after they've had
Biopsy.
That
a biopsy. Now, look, I know somebody's gonna call and say, and we're not giving any medical advice out here.
No.
Debbie's telling her
No.
personal experience, and I'm talking from a
Right.
complete land of ignorance. But
Well, I've seen it with my sister and her breast cancer, and they pulled that needle out right by the lymph nodes, and it was in her lymph nodes right after. So, yeah, and they don't have proof. See, that's the thing. People want to say, oh, they don't have proof. That's wrong. That's wrong. You're lying. But the proof comes in from the studies that are done, which are backed by the government usually, by funding. And they're not going to back something the AMA is sitting there, which they are the strongest lobbyists, saying, we don't want that.
mm-hmm.
It's all a very nice circle.
Well, I think,
Very
Debbie,
clean.
the whole COVID thing really kind of, I think your word was jaded, made me more cynical. When somebody starts digging into the statements like, well, there was no long-term effects, and you find out that long-term, the definition was, did you have a reaction within, I forgot what it was, 2 weeks? You had to have some sort of adverse reaction within 2 weeks, or it said there's no adverse reactions and all this kind of stuff. And you start digging into, wait a minute, they just quit looking, or they got rid of the control group, and you think this is playing, funny business with the numbers and the stats to make things say what you want it to say. And that's just truthful. It's kind of like the effectiveness of the flu shots. You start digging into that whole story, and you're like, wow, that is amazing that we have been
Well, that
marketed
group
to
that-
so strongly.
Right, that group that's supposed to take all the complaints, VER, I think it is, or VERS. I'm not going to, don't take my word on that. You
Yeah,
have
the
to look it up.
vaccine injury reporting, whatever it is. Yes.
Right. Well, anyway, they said a lot of doctors were complaining that they were trying to pass the information and it was not being accepted.
Doesn't
And that's
surprise
as
me.
easy as that. Well, we didn't have anybody complain about it. Well, if you're not accepting that information, then I guess you're not.
Well, that's the way I do.
So
That's the
it
way I
can
do
be
it on this
easily-
show, Debbie. If anybody calls and complains, we don't write it down or take it, and we've never had a complaint.
Not yet.
Debbie,
Hey,
thank
I
you so
like
much.
that, Scott. Take care.
You have a great
Bye.
one. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovery.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
You just can't get the disc jockey out of Sky Mosley. That's for daggum sure.
No, I'm gonna.
You can't cut in before the music. You got to hit the, what do you say, the post?
Till it's right.
Till it's just right.
Waiting on the hook on
Welcome
that
back in, everybody. It's a Friday night here with the Wolfman, whatever his name is.
It's the morning zoo with Scott and Sky. Yes, rattling the cages.
Oh, so I ran across this, which caused me to run across something else. And then we'll get to the real interesting part you won't get on other shows, apparently. Donald Trump, this is a story by Pam Key. Donald Trump says that Lindsey Graham's death is, quote, a big blow to the Save America Act. Okay. So he goes on, what show is this? NBC's Meet the Press. Kristen Welker is the guest, the host. She said, President Trump, thank you for joining us and my condolences to you. Trump said, well, thank you. He's a tough one to lose. He's talking about Lindsey Graham. He's a tough one to lose. He was great. He was unique in every way, actually. I don't disagree with the unique in every way. I do disagree with the he was great. But it's okay. It's okay. He called and said, we're all set for the Save America Act. He was pushing the Save America Act like crazy, got back, said he just landed from Ukraine. He's a worker. He was really a worker. But he sounded great, actually. But he actually said he was tired, but he wanted to get the Save America Act. And I said, well, we're going to get it done, Lindsey. We're going to get it done. I'll see you soon. We thought maybe we might even meet today. And then that was it. That was, around the time. It couldn't have been much longer. I could have been his last call. I don't know exactly, but I got a message about 1 a.m. from one of the people at his office that he had passed away. I said, you got it. I just can't believe it. He was like a member of the family to me. It's very tough. This is a big blow to the Save America Act. Let me tell you. So I guess the president and Lindsey Graham were closer than I would have been with Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham seemed to be cut from the same cloth that John McCain was cut, which was, hey, I'm with you, you're my buddy, until I'm not. But I look, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
No.
But Lindsey Graham, for conservatives, Lindsey Graham was a problem.
What will
historically
his legacy be, do you think?
Do what?
His legacy. Warhawk?
I think it's going to have to come down on the Warhawk side.
Yeah, I think so.
John McCain's legacy was similar, except John McCain's legacy ended up being the famous no vote on getting rid of Obamacare. That's what he was remembered for. Yeah. He spent his whole senatorial career trying to, pretend he was the maverick and all this kind of stuff, and being a darling to the media, mostly because he was willing to be that one Republican who wasn't really being Republican when the time came, and that made him very popular, and he loved that. And he was kind of a mentor, I guess. That's at least the way people talk about it, for Lindsey Graham, and Lindsey Graham kind of went the same way. But short of Lindsey Graham being for every war we could possibly be in,
and every intervention.
And and some of the things he said in the last few months. Now, some of y'all might be upset with me for not being nice enough, but I'm trying to be restrained. I mean, some of the things that he said about just kill everybody, women, the children, everybody, and well, that's what we did in World War II when we were, bombing these cities that had manufacturing capabilities and this kind of stuff, and equating things. He had this ability to just make, if you go and watch, and I know many of you don't get to see all the stuff that I see because I'm doing it for this show, but if you go and watch some of the clips, and you can watch them in context, you can pull them up on YouTube or wherever, some of his statements in the last year have been deranged. Like just off his rocker deranged. I don't know if it's from medicine. I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it's from old age. I don't know if it's we have a tendency to say things a little more curtly than we otherwise would have as we get older. We just the filters seem to come off in some fashion, but some of it was crazy town kind of stuff. And you can't give me if it was, if you were fighting the fight or whatever. No, I mean he had a real like for sending young Americans into battle.
Yes, he was a big supporter of the Iran war that's going on now.
Oh, huge. And the Ukrainian conflict. He came back from Ukraine. You could make the argument, because isn't it one of those things where they tell people with cardiovascular conditions and stuff like that long plane flights are not the greatest thing you can do, right? They have all those compression socks and get up and walk around, and you get blood clots in your legs and all this kind of stuff, right?
Good point. Yes, that is true.
You can't have that and just be running off to Ukraine, then running back to Washington for, that's a lot of flying. A lot of time in the air.
Yeah, in a pressurized cabin.
Yeah.
Under those circumstances, yes.
So, I mean, I not saying that he wouldn't have had exactly the same thing in a few days if he didn't have it this weekend, but you just never know. So I'm interested to see what they claim is the legacy of Lindsey Graham. And I think it's another good point is all of us sometime, I say all of us, probably, especially if people are involved in politics, take themselves too seriously at times and forget that when you're gone, you're gone.
That's it.
And the only legacy you're really leaving is what you do for Christ, what you do, the heavenly rewards you store up, and all the stuff you do here. I promise you, whoever is the replacement senator, all those cats in Washington, D.C., and all those folks in South Carolina will be kissing his or her butt just like they did Lindsey Graham's on day one.
Yep. The king is dead.
Long live the king. Yeah, I mean, it is so true, Sky. I mean, I think I've told the story before. When I was in the house, we had this little group that we call like Broken Arrow. So we're like, hey, yeah, it's fine. We'll just call in the airstrike on us and everybody if that's what it takes. This was years ago. A couple other groups have used that now since, but they don't really remember, especially the Alabama ones, that we were using that a long time ago. And so because we had this little group that would stick together, some of the folks that were trying to get things done or trying to kill things would come and talk to our little group. And I would be one of the main ones they talked to at the time. And so you're kind of like, oh, yeah, everybody, we got this little group. We're having a little bit of influence here. This is awesome. And when I decided to run for the Senate, no one thought I could win. And my office went from people standing in line to say, hey, this is what this issue we got, to ghost town. I mean, you're like, well, he's never going to win that. His usefulness is over. Don't even go talk to him. And that's one of the times, and everybody needs that experience in politics. If we could have like a It's a Wonderful Life movie where you could see how it was if you were never there, you would realize you're not a big deal. You can be the Speaker of the Alabama House, and when you're gone, you're gone.
That's it.
No one cares. They don't care. They will say the exact same compliments to the next person that they said to you the day before.
Because there's nothing left for you to do for them.
That's exactly right.
That's sad.
No, Scott, they really think I'm smart. They think I'm exceptional. No, they don't. You can find the dumbest member of the legislature, okay? And there is one, because that's a real thing. There is a dumbest.
They have an award for that?
No, but there's a smartest,
knows?
there's a dumbest. If you have 5 people, one of them's the dumbest.
Okay.
And I promise you, the lobbyists and the activists are just stroking their ego. You're the smartest. You're the greatest. You have a vision no one else has. Oh, my gosh, I can't believe it. Flattery works wonders. Anyway, lots of stuff to do today. We appreciate you listening to the show. We'll be back.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling people about this program. That's how we grow, and we appreciate everything that you do for us. If you want to join the program, you know the number, 1-800-289-9228, 1-800-289-9228. So the rest of the story after Donald Trump was saying that what a good guy Lindsey Graham was, and that the SAVE Act is in bigger trouble. It does look like Sky was letting me know that South Carolina can immediately appoint a successor. That person can hold the seat and be active as a U.S. Senator as they have apparently they're going to have a primary in August with a runoff after that, and then the general election in November to replace Lindsey Graham, because Lindsey Graham had already won the Republican nomination, which is still amazing to me, Sky. I don't even know how that happens, but I guess the people of South Carolina were all about Lindsey Graham. That doesn't seem like South Carolina.
Well, congressional approval is at an all-time low across the country, yet everybody keeps reelecting
almost the same guys.
Yeah.
Yes, it is unbelievable.
Yeah. Everybody has one, and everyone stinks except yours.
Yes, mine's always good. So here's what I'm reading the comments, which there are thousands of comments over at Breitbart about President Trump talking about Lindsey Graham. And a number of the comments are like, hey, Lindsey was a big war hawk. Lindsey was all in for Israel more than he was for the United States. All these kind of comments. But that's not the ones that surprised me. Somewhere along the lines, somebody throws in something about talk radio or whatever, and this person says, off topic, Buck Sexton has a very unique set of skills. Now,
Okay.
we've talked about talk radio before, have we not? Big national talk radio.
Yes, the history of even.
And we've also talked about nightly news back when there were 3 networks. And there's always been these allegations that the nightly news anchors were tied very closely to the federal government. People didn't know that. Some of them were asked about it, and they're like, oh, no, I didn't have anything to do with the CIA, or I wasn't an agent, that kind of thing. And you're like, wait a minute, nobody said you were an agent. Well, I don't know what they call you, but maybe you're just a mouthpiece or a facilitator, or, when they start getting into I'm not an agent, I'm an employee, that kind of stuff. I'm not an agent, I'm an informant. I'm not an agent, I'm an asset. I'm not an asset, I'm an informant. I'm not an informant, that kind of stuff. It's like when, who was that guy? He was in Congress, had hair that was worse than mine. He's the one that said the Obama administration wasn't spying on Donald Trump.
Oh.
Who was that guy?
Well, there were
He was a
several, but
Republican
I know
guy.
who you're talking about. I know you're
Yeah. Golly. And everybody wanted him to be like Attorney General or something, but it turned out that he was either trying to act like he knew a lot of stuff, because we don't spy on American citizens. So he said, they're not spying on Trump. They were surveilling him.
right. The difference in the words. We
Yeah.
spy on foreigners.
Right. But we surveil Americans. And you're like, shut up. Gaddy. Gaddy?
Yeah.
Was it Gaddy? It's something like that, right?
Yeah. That's what he said. I know that.
So this person says Buck Sexton has a very unique set of skills. Apparently, he learned to drive a stick shift vehicle during his CIA training. Buck Sexton is the guy that was chosen to be one of the 2 people to do the Rush Limbaugh show after Rush Limbaugh died, right? He does it today. And I thought, wait a minute, well, he had some sort of talk radio presence. I mean, he had a show. So what did I do? I went to the old interwebs and said, it was or is Buck Sexton a CIA guy? A very, very technical search terms guy.
Here it comes. Yeah.
Yes, Buck Sexton is a former CIA officer. Before entering media, he served as an intelligence officer in the Counterterrorism Center and the Office of Iraq Analysis. His career included tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he briefed senior U.S. officials, including President George W. Bush and Vice President Dick Cheney. That is from a site called Politicon.
Man.
How far do these people go, Sky?
Right. It's right in your face. There it is.
Every time you turn around, somebody with tremendous influence is a former CIA person.
They do get around.
We'll be back. Maybe.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Again, thank you for listening. Don't forget our friend Brian Dawson. Check out his podcast, 1819 News, the podcast. You can find it at YouTube or any of the other places where you find your podcast. So while you're listening to or just at least subscribing to our link over at YouTube, where you can find Scott Beason and listen to us live in case you're outside of our terrestrial signal, check out 1819 News, the podcast with Brian Dawson. So let's go to our phones. James, welcome to the program.
Terrestrial signal.
Did you see that? That's probably the only word that I'll use today that has multiple syllables.
What is that, 4? Terrestrial?
Terrestrial. At least 7.
Depends on how you pronounce it. Yeah.
When I say it, it's got 7. Terrestrial. James, you still there?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you are. Now you're back.
Josh doesn't, but what now?
Yeah, I just lost you for a second. CIA is cutting in on us.
You sure it's the CIA? It could be the FBI.
I think it's the CIA mostly today because we brought up Buck Sexton and his CIA background. Because you couldn't have media apparently without people who were in the CIA.
All right. Well, you know the term mole, I'm sure.
Yes,
Henceforth, you should be careful.
that's a good point.
There are those who are paid to listen to various levels of programming.
No
And
doubt.
you know what, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
I have already said more than James needs to say.
Yeah, you probably should start pretending you're somebody else.
Oh, you don't mean I should do that?
Hello. Welcome
Here
to the
comes
program.
Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus Lane. La la la. My bad, dude. I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling too great this morning, man.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say this on the air. Although I asked Paul Feinbaum once, you have any idea what liver flukes are? Did you write that down, Scott?
Yeah, I know what liver flukes are.
Liver flukes.
Mm-hmm.
One thing about a liver fluke, and follow me here, Sky, you can count on a liver fluke, all right?
Okay.
I I counted 20 of them yesterday, and that's when I stopped. Of course, some of these cats have probably been hanging around for a little while.
I just don't want you to get the liver flukes. If you eat like 40 apricot seeds a day, you're supposed to cut down on that.
40 apricot seeds.
It's
Is
something
this
like
related
that.
to that explosive diarrhea thing? That's
No,
going
it's just
around
an
the news or something?
anti-parasitical.
Oh, it'd be good for it then. Okay, all right.
Are you sure that apricot seeds aren't toxic?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are. That's why it kills off the parasites.
That's why it kills the liver flukes.
It's arsenic.
Exactly
isn't it?
right.
What you're telling me, it's like the blind lady with the scales.
Almond, sorry.
You know, you understand what I'm getting at? You know, you tit for tat. You know that. Which would you rather get killed by? The toxic apricot seeds
take the
or the
former.
liver flukes?
Well, it's organic, natural chemotherapy.
Oh, Scott, none of that sounds good.
Let's see. Are apricot seeds toxic? Everything's toxic to dogs. Yes, raw apricot seeds are highly poisonous. They contain amygdalin.
Matter.
Amygdalin.
How many syllables is that? I mean, to stay in, true with our narrative.
Amygdalin.
Four or five.
Four on that one.
Okay, well, watermelon's 4 oaks also. Did I get any credit for that?
No, that's too
No.
common. Mm-mm. You got to say amygdalin.
You got to try harder than that.
Amygdalin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my bad.
It's just in case for our educated listeners, it is a compound that the body converts into cyanide.
Okay, cyanide. It's interesting you bring that up.
Uh-huh.
Who was it? Gosh, I'm listening to the radio, and some dude was exposed to cyanide. I forget. Oh, gosh. That's terrible. Don't you love it when you forget something? Of course, you hadn't got there yet. I know Sky's right there with me because he's a year or two older than I
It
am.
was Herman Goering who's you're thinking of with the cyanide. I believe.
Herman Goering?
Yeah, he got a dose, and it wasn't from eating apples. Let me tell you. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
anyway.
For some reason, I was never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I just babble too much. You know, Scott, this morning I got a flock of cats on my back porch. I've got to do something with these cats. Okay.
Yeah, and they're full of the flukes.
No. They don't have the flukes.
Oh, they don't? You do? Where were
No,
you counting
they don't.
liver flukes?
Liver flukes are like, we associate liver flukes with Southeast Asia, but let me tell you,
Yeah.
they are here in this country as well. For those of you that are listening and paying some attention, when you have freshwater fish or anything that comes out of fresh water, make sure you cook this stuff done, okay?
Right.
Done, and make sure it's cooked to the express temperature. In other words, whatever's recommended. Don't eat anything that's not quite cooked well enough, because you could have liver fluke eggs hanging out there, and then you could be suffering with liver flukes. Liver flukes can be within your body for 30 years, and you don't even know it because you don't have any symptoms.
What
This is
happens
according
after
to
the
what I've
30th
read.
year? What if you get one of these flukes
Well,
when you're 10? Do they die when you're 40?
I'm not suggesting
Oh,
that you won't be aware of it before the 30 years. I said can.
Okay.
Can. They can be hanging
yeah.
out
So for the
30
rest
years.
of your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's treatments, but, we tried various treatments, and so far,
So far, the
I'm still
apricot
having to-
seeds are the best.
no, I haven't tried apricot seeds yet.
Well, from my real
why don't I-
quick research, you might not want to try that.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is everybody that is listening,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you understand that Scott Beason is only joking and that, he's putting his disclaimer out. Don't be eating apricot seeds.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, you don't want to be sitting in that box.
No, somebody say, I heard on the
heard you
radio,
right here."
Scott said eat apricot seeds. Look, I don't know if it'll kill you or not. I saw people on social media, which, you can trust everything on social media.
Oh, right.
Um,
You shouldn't even jest with that.
Mm-hmm. They were
But
saying.
see, I can count on these cats, Scott.
Uh-huh.
'Cause they out here waiting on me to feed them. What I'm wondering is, can I count on you? That's what I was trying to get at Friday, and you pushed Mr. Babble off the air. But see, tomorrow night, my understanding is there's 16 authors signed up to be there, Scott.
Man,
16.
that's a cornucopia of authors.
I'm telling you, and I'm guessing all of them are not going to be left wing nuts. Okay,
5. So
not all of them.
Not all of them will be. What percentage
At least
will
one
be?
of them is going to be a right wing nut.
Mm-hmm. Which book are you selling this time, James? Is it a new book or is it the old book? Is it Sam and Ann?
Well, we got 5 different titles, Scott, that we won't blab out here. But I'm not necessarily promoting myself.
No.
It's the library event there at the Doster Center in Prattville, Alabama.
Yes.
Okay? Prattville, Alabama, the county seat of Autauga County.
Right, at the library in Prattville. At what time?
Well, actually, it's going to be at the Doster Center. They
Oh, the
moved it
Doster
to the Doster Center because of space issues. Okay, not outer space. All right.
Because y'all have more authors coming. This is like a political
Correct.
event where the authors and their family will be more of the crowd than the candidates?
Most likely. But
Okay.
it's not because I'm not making my effort, Scott.
You are trying hard. There's no doubt about it. And thousands of people are listening right now. So
I would love to see you and Sky there.
what day of the week is that, James?
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, so let me think.
July
Tuesday.
14th.
Tuesday. Okay.
Tuesday, July 14th, tomorrow.
Mm.
And of course, we got August the 15th if you'd rather go over to New South Books in Montgomery at 105 South Court Street.
Yeah. Okay. So if we miss
There's gonna
tomorrow
be
night, there's another chance.
Exactly. There's going to be a bevy of authors over there
Bevy.
in Montgomery on the 15th
It's
of
only
August.
2 syllables. James,
Man.
thank you.
Yeah, man. I know. And, hey, I feel the love. I mean, and that, for me right now,
Yeah.
that,
Hey, James, the flock of cats you described on your front porch, were those domestic or feral?
they're feral.
That would be a glaring of cats in that
Ooh,
case.
really?
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Well, at least it's not a murder of crows, depending on me, all right? Okay?
Yes.
And again, that's only 2 syllables.
That's true. Thanks, James.
Fun with words. To be
Adios.
continued. Thanks, bro. Later.
Ta-ta. We'll be back.
Had it been a domestic group of cats, it would have been a clouder, by the way.
Is it really?
Yes.
How do y'all know such things?
Spent a lot of time around cats.
Real cats.
People
They
that,
told
people
you.
that trap cats and get them spayed and neutered, and I learned so much I didn't need to know. And that was my one opportunity to get it out there. So I took it.
I think we'll be back.
I hope so.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Let's get out to the phone calls. Eric the dog. Eric, how are you?
Hola.
Hola, ¿cómo está, mi amigo?
I'm gonna stop you right there because I have a compromise I'd like to put out for all the listeners.
Okay.
I promise not to speak in Spanish if they promise to quit singing. I think that's a fair trade, and I'm willing to be a man of my word starting right now.
I second Eric's.
Why are we making them stop singing?
Well, we've had a
because
lot
it
of
hurts my
acapella.
ears.
Oh, singing on the show?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
My my ear that is finely tuned for anything musical missed it completely.
Oh, it happened.
Well, I'm not completely
We had a
daft,
bit of
but
an
I'm not,
epidemic last week. over
Brother,
there.
I can't
Yeah.
tell the difference in good singing and bad singing. That's why I'm for.
It was good
for music.
singing.
It was
It's
good singing?
Eric's just having a little fun.
Okay, all right, good deal.
I'm just picking. Don't get your undergarments in a twist there.
Yeah.
I had to let you know that, y'all were talking about pharmaceutical companies earlier and all the stuff that they like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that there's only two countries in the world where pharmaceutical companies are allowed to advertise directly to consumers?
The United States and whew,
New Zealand.
no way, New Zealand.
That's correct.
Way.
That doesn't sound like a good plan.
I had
Well,
no idea.
It sounds like I don't know why those other countries are smarter than us. I know why they do it in the United States. I didn't realize New Zealand had a big pharmacology market, but apparently they do.
Maybe we can get
But,
them and the
you get-
lawyers to quit advertising. Wouldn't that be good?
Well, I guess it depends. We're such a litigious society. I think lawyers ought to be advertising.
It
Do
says
you really?
It's restricted in all those other nations to prevent prescription and ensure unbiased medical care.
Well, those
don't need
those,
that.
those bunch of dummies. Clearly, we know better than everybody else. Wonder why we're not getting hammered with that all the time, Eric the dog. It's always everybody else in the world does this and everybody else in the world does that. Why are we not hearing it on pharmaceutical sales? I mean, my understanding from doctors is now. Look, Sky and I started the program talking about how they should be willing to answer your questions and you should be informed and all that kind of stuff. But I have had people tell me that their patients will come in demanding pharmaceuticals that they saw advertised while they were watching Oprah, daytime television, and you can't talk them out of it. They're convinced they've got whatever it is, and they need that medicine. So I understand the frustration level in that regard.
Well, they took all those 80 songs and made them into drug songs.
Oh, I hate that.
All them other
hate
ones.
that. It's so disrespectful.
Oh, I want to
exactly
know,
what
this is
they're
a
doing.
serious question. How do they name all these drugs? Because I used to think, like when I was in school, they would say like a compound a lot of times was named after the chemicals that are in it. You know what I'm saying? You'd get some sort of hydroxyheptanidicide or whatever. And there was a reason. But how do you come up with Skyrizi and, Mo Flimpatech or, get Mo Flimpatech. You need Mo, that kind of stuff for their advertising. How do they make that stuff up?
Buddy, I don't know. They probably have a drawer and a wheel that they spin with a bunch of Latin on it, and then they just stick a word, and then they try to find something that's in the common language and try to match it up. I don't know. They probably flip a coin, might get hammered and record themselves trying to say it.
That's what I'm
I don't
thinking.
know.
They're doing drinking heavily or
I think it's
mushrooms
to make it
or
sound
something.
Kind of stupid. Yeah. Bit-Tarvy, yes.
Bitarvi's one.
Yeah, that's one. And Anna Karina sounds like something.
She was a Russian gymnast.
Spell. Yeah. Okay, that's a spell that they cast on you.
Let me get a Bacardi with Coke.
Bioveriflex,
Yeah.
faux sex. That would have been.
What
great
is
for-
that one? Phone sex.
Faux sex. A
Faux
misbranding
faux
opportunity.
sex.
Yeah, I don't know what that
That's
does.
when it's not
It's a
real.
drug.
What?
One of the ED drugs.
My personal favorite, Goofenthal.
Goofenthal.
We all know what that does. Okay.
That's supposed. I guess Congress is taking that. Sounds like to me.
As directed, though. Yes.
Little Goofenthal, side of Fosex, to get you right into Congress.
You'll be
I know
coming
y'all
and
got
going.
You'll be
Friends
you'll
and
be
girlfriends.
voting right from now on. That's all I know.
What was that guy's name in the Alabama legislature said? We don't want to talk about boyfriends and girlfriends. Turn around and look, and folks was leaving. And what was that guy's name? Allen.
Alvin Holmes.
Oh, the legend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy was hilarious. What's wrong with the drugs we got here in America?
Oh, with the bill we got, Germany.
Oh, yeah.
I need to find that just to play
All
it.
right, y'all.
Thanks, Eric the dog. Sky, you need that on one of your quick buttons.
Making a
Adios.
note. Thanks, bro.
Germany. What's wrong? What's wrong with the beer we got? What kinds we got? We got Miller. He was so good.
He was great, man. That was
He
all
was-
about the bringing draft beer to Alabama.
That was the
Yeah.
craft beer thing, I think.
Yeah.
Was it Free the Hops?
Free the hops.
That was the name of the effort. Free the Hops.
Alvin Holmes.
You know, somebody said hops is one of the reasons that they want all the young men to drink beer is because hops causes has estrogen, causes your body to make estrogen. It's an easier way to control young men if you can get them to drink beer regularly. Let's see.
I've always had an aversion to drinking more than a couple of beers. I just, it's like something, a natural instinct not to do it. It feels, I could never get drunk.
Well, you got to get full too.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's just it. I couldn't drink enough of it to, get to the point.
Okay.
So,
Well, the conspiracy is scientifically unfounded, according to the Google AI. The hops estrogen conspiracy claims that drinking beer, especially hop-heavy IPAs, increases estrogen in men, leading to man boobs, which is
Yikes.
gynecomastia, and impotence.
6 syllables.
Gynecomastia. How do you get that so quick? Because you're a radio
Got
guy,
that
huh?
math mind, yeah.
This rumor is scientifically unfounded, but you want to hear the after that?
However,
There's not it doesn't say however, but it says while hops contains a highly potent phytoestrogen called 8-prenylinaregenin, the concentration in beer is far too low to cause any hormonal changes. Uh-huh.
if you say so.
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, you beer drinker folks, y'all make fun of IPAs, right? What does that mean? Indian Pale Ales?
Yeah, it's the fancy, like
Yeah.
you said, the craft kind of stuff.
That's the kind the sissy boys drink?
Apparently, and it's got all kind of flavors and nuts and grains and, exciting stuff. What happened? And Alvin Holmes was right.
What's wrong with the beer we got?
I want a beer that tastes like a beer. Not
How
a
does
fruit
beer?
salad,
I don't
okay?
like beer either. How is beer supposed to taste? What is the beer that tastes like a beer?
It's got a lot of barley, malt, kind of a grainy,
A little
taste.
robust, grainy taste.
Yeah, it's got a real
Like I
stout
like a
taste to it.
coffee that has a nutty, like a genuinely nutty flavor.
Yeah, I think something's wrong with these. Everybody's trying. Why don't you want your beer to taste like a beer? I don't get it.
Well, the last
Never
beer I
understood that.
drank was one of those. And look, I don't mean to knock them. They're not advertisers, so I don't care. What is that? God, Ultra?
Oh, Michelob Ultra.
Is that like a girly beer?
No.
That's
what
not a
we used to
beer
make-
that you would say that's a beer that's manly.
Nah, that's
It's okay.
Middle road.
Middle
Yes,
road,
It has
okay.
a Bush product. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is foreign, right?
It is now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know my beers. But I do know that when we went to, when I was in college, we had to go to this class out west for, I forgot what it was, 4, 5, 6 weeks, something like that. And our professors always wanted to stop at the craft beer microbreweries or whatever. And they had beer made out of everything, Sky.
Literally.
I mean, everything. It was like jalapeno beer and just every kind of,
almond.
all kind of
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
kind of fruity stuff. And I've had a lot of beers in my life. Like I said, I never like to have more than a couple.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But of all the beers in all the expensive places I've ever had, the best beer I ever had in my life, A red, white, and blue.
What is that? Who is that?
That is like a natural light back in the old days.
A red, white, and blue, a natural light. Who made that?
It was horrible. But it was the cheapest you could buy.
Oh.
But we moved a grand piano up 2 flights of stairs in the midsummer in Alabama.
Okay.
And when we got to the top, the guy had a 6-pack of red, white, and blue in the freezer.
Red,
Best
white,
beer
and
I've ever had
blue.
in my life. Yeah,
Really?
It's all about perspective and timing.
So it was hot and you drank
that
it. So
beer
it
was
was
cold.
very, very good.
We earned it.
Yeah, I mean,
learned
I've
every-
tried stuff, but I just don't have the taste for it.
Yeah. Well,
I'll take a
God loves you,
Dr.
see?
Pepper or a fizzy. I mean, a fizzy Mountain Dew is when I'm drinking heavy.
It took me 35 years to learn that. See, and you had it natural, man.
Yes, because God said, "Son, you don't need to.
You
don't.
wouldn't make a good
You don't
alcoholic
need to
anyway.
drink. No,
Yeah.
sir, you do not." We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Welcome back in, everybody. So much stuff to do. Let's get out to some of your phone calls. Simpler Days, welcome to the program. I hope you're well. Happy Monday to you.
Same here. Just wanted to know, Scott, you know how you make any beer taste better?
How?
Shot a good whiskey right after it.
Make it a Boilermaker.
So the beer tastes better than the whiskey. So that made the beer taste better, or is it really a good combination?
Yeah, I was in Texas one time, and I was out on a ranch and with a bunch of law enforcement officers, and they were drinking, and I was drinking that sissy beer, that cooler stuff, and they said, don't be drinking that stuff. And if you are, he said, chase it with good whiskey. He said, but then you'll mess up the good whiskey, good whiskey taste.
Oh, I just can't take any of it. I'm a wuss apparently, but I'll take it as a blessing. I'm addicted to desserts, so I don't need anything worse than sugar.
Well, the $1 million question is, Scott, how in the world did you not become afflicted around all those heavy drinkers in the Alabama legislature?
Well, it's pretty easy. Look, you sit at the table at dinner, and you look down to your left, and you look across, and you look down to your right, and you think, man, these guys, some of them are not bright. And then they're knocking them back, and you're like, well, maybe there's a connection. I don't think I'm going to do that.
You observe. Yes.
You were an observer.
I was an observer, yes, sir.
You were a paid observer. Hey, true story. I was a young police officer back in the late 70s, and we get a call at Norman Bridge and the Boulevard about a vehicle blocking traffic. And a partner, we pull up, and guess who's sitting behind the wheel passed out?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Who?
One Representative Alvin Holmes.
Oh, no.
He was passed out
He
driving?
was headed to the Crystal, I bet.
He was passed out and stopped at the intersection, and, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Cars are, trying to figure out whether it's broke down or whatever. So anyway, we said, we need safety in numbers with this. So we called the sergeant, and what do you want to do with him? Isn't there some law that they're supposed to be exempt when they're in transit or whatever?
Get me out of this, boss. Come on.
He said, gentlemen, you get in that car and drive it over to that parking lot right there, park it, put the keys in his lap, and let's get 10-8 and get out of here. Because this is a big old bad can of worms you don't want to open.
Really?
That's what we did.
That does not surprise me.
Oh, and those were simpler days, Scott. Y'all
Yeah.
have a good day.
Thanks,
Thank you, man.
Simpler Days.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't say I'm for that policy, but there's no doubt that happened.
Oh, I have no
I mean,
doubt
I know
about it,
another
but-
guy who got caught driving in his home county, and it was a fairly big deal. I had no idea he had an issue, really, and because we weren't close. And then come to find out afterwards, it was a common occurrence. But the guy who had caught him the time everybody found out about it was like a new guy. He didn't know. And I'm like, that's just wrong. I mean, be smart. If you're gonna dabble in that stuff, don't be driving a multi-ton car around. How hard is it?
Well, you would think a lawmaker would.
You would think.
You would think, but I've since learned that
Right.
those thoughts are incorrect.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, now look, I have been known to drive a little faster than the speed limit, but still, right, that's too far, right?
Yeah, but could you imagine having to be in Simpler Days' place? And what am I going to do?
What am I going to do?
Because this, no matter what you do, it's going to be wrong.
Oh yeah, you're dang. That's a real danged if you do, danged if you don't kind of thing. If you have, some guy who's wanting to make your life miserable afterwards. But there was simpler times. Again, we talked about it before. I don't want anybody's life messed up. You make a mistake, you do something dumb, then look, we got to do something about it. We got to. Now, if you do it again, or it's a systemic problem, that's a completely different thing. But I just love how in our modern world we don't want to take any responsibility for ourselves. Okay, can we say that as a society? None of it is our fault. It was all our parents' fault. They were mean to us at school. My coach cussed me out. He made me run too far. I didn't have a chance. I was oppressed. I wouldn't have all the opportunity. Everything. None of it's our fault.
Right.
But as soon as somebody else, especially if it's somebody else we don't particularly like, does something, oh no, you destroy them. Send them to prison if you have to. Execute them if you have to. Take everything they have. And I'm like, wait a minute. You just last week said what you did wasn't your fault. Ask your therapist. And you want this guy to have to go to prison forever? Why exactly? How do you?
So judgmental.
Yeah.
So quick to throw others away and
is it the old speck in their eye and plank in your own eye thing?
It's part of it. It's this vindictiveness and rush to judgment. Everybody's an expert.
Yeah, it's a weird. If it was pretty consistent, I would get it. But we have these national turmoil about somebody who, I don't know, stabs somebody and kills somebody else. Oh, he should not. Oh, he's innocent. He should not. Then somebody, drives too fast through the neighborhood and a dog runs out and he runs them over. They want that person to, have anything and everything happen to them. And you're like, wait a minute, that was an accident. Well, he was going too fast. I'm like, you go too fast. You live I live in your neighborhood. You speed every day. But that person had something unfortunate occur while they were speeding. It hadn't happened when you were speeding, going the same speed, but you want him or her lit up like a candle. I don't get that. I always look at it like if I was on the jury, and maybe I'm wrong, y'all call me and tell me, but if I was on the jury and I'm thinking, I've done that too. Or if that was my kid or whatever, I don't know if I would want that much punishment.
There for the grace of God go I.
Yes, I like that.
That's the phrase.
Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean I'm soft on stuff, but the things that aren't, I don't want to say on purpose.
I wonder about it.
But everything's not negligence.
No.
It's that story I told you about the girl I know where she was in the car wreck and the other guy says it's his fault and everybody says it's his fault. And then her insurance company comes back and says, no, we're not paying you. And she's like, why? Well, because we got the data off the black box in your car and it says you were going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. So you were speeding. And I'm like, everybody goes 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. But for them to come back and have the balls to say, oh, no, we got this tracker data that said you were breaking the law.
Yeah, those cameras are for our public safety.
You know what that makes me want to do? Now, look, I understand that I'm always on the edge of being radicalized, okay? Like going postal. That's why God doesn't let me like alcohol or drugs or anything because he knows, like, Scott, you're right on the edge. But if that happened, I'm not for murdering somebody, okay? I'm not the guy that did the stuff to the United Healthcare guy.
Right.
But that kind of situation with that young lady makes me want to drive around behind the CEO of the insurance company. And as soon as he goes 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, cut him off, stop him, get out, jab holes in all 4 tires, and go, you're lucky. That's all you're getting, scumbag.
Yeah.
Now, look, I'm not advocating that at all. That's insanity. Don't do that. But I'm just like, if you're going to tell somebody else, no, you don't get it, it's your fault, you better not be doing the same thing.
Yeah. You better walk the line.
And we're going to get to all answer for that stuff. Man, how'd y'all get me so far off track? I know it's not hard.
It was the beer, Scott.
It's all this beer. I was talking about the beer got me off track. We'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
Everybody, third half, Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Let's get back out to Rocontour. Rocontour, I had a couple of more quick questions for you. So what are the 4 teams that are left in the World Cup?
Yep. First time in the 96-year history of the World Cup, the Final Four went all chalk. The top 4 ranked teams in the world are the 4 teams remaining.
So the number 1 seed from every part of the bracket made it to the Final Four.
Correct. For the first time ever.
First time ever, really? Now,
Time in the history of the World Cup.
As a soccer fan that you are, an expert soccer fan, do you think that FIFA is running a clean operation, or do you think they are trying to maybe do a little conspiratorial here, little NFL-esque? We got certain folks we'd like to go along, and if we can help them, they need a little nudge every so often. Maybe we'll nudge them. What is your feel? Because I'm an outsider. Just recently became the second biggest soccer fan, and I guess I'm not anymore. But in the state, and there's just some stuff that happens in these games and matches that I'm like, it just makes me say, really? So what's your take?
I think that there are so many different factors and so many different influences that go into it.
Mm-hmm.
That if FIFA tried to put their thumb on the scale, they could not move the needle completely.
Okay.
I mean, for example, my mother's British. Half my family live in England. I've got cousins on the hooligans list, which basically means they're not allowed to travel outside of England if the soccer team is playing outside of the country because they're afraid that they'll get into a fight and start an international incident.
Wow, that's impressive.
Man, now he's bragging, Scott. Dang.
Man.
That's pretty impressive.
I'm just saying that's the passion they play with. For example, people were like, well, why did Norway play so poorly? Well, because did you know that they had to move hotels because people found out where they were staying and just spent all night standing outside the hotel screaming and making noise and shooting off fireworks to try to disrupt their sleep so they would be fatigued and not able to play their best.
Well, we don't do that stuff in America. I mean, regularly.
No, but I mean, not on days that don't end in Y.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, but I mean, you have that kind of stuff going on just all over the place. I think there was some illness on the Norway players, part. They had to change hotels. They had to change their whole routine and everything. So you've got those things. Then you've got yellow card for a flop. Now a red card. Now he's out. Now they're down 10 men.
Yeah.
Did the ball hit the wire in the England-Norway match that gave England that goal or not?
Yeah. What do you think on that one? Do you think it hit the wire? It sure did look like it went straight down.
Yeah, it did. I mean, physics do apply on a soccer field.
And I also thought that them taking away Norway's second goal, that didn't look any more pushy and shovey than about half the game does. I that seemed kind of weak to me. But what was your thought on that call?
Again,
and you're an Englander because I don't want the hooligans coming after you and your family. But what do you think?
But it is what it is. There was a lot of inconsistent refereeing during this World Cup. For example, the first yellow card that was issued to the kid from Switzerland that led to the second card and getting kicked out. That was no more physical a tackle than half of what happened in the USA-Belgium match.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. And then you had the one where the English guy knocked the guy down, then stepped back over him and all that stuff. I didn't know you could – they'll throw you out of a college football game for taunting.
Absolutely. And as long as you don't cover your mouth, it's legal. I don't know.
I know. It's one of those FIFA words. I do. One of my other recommendations is y'all need, at least in the World Cup, y'all need another referee or something. Because that one guy running around can't see He's busy chasing the ball around. Everybody else is knocking the crap out of each other.
Right, and that's where the assistant referees are supposed to come into play and monitor that.
Yeah.
And notify that there should be a foul called, even though they're not usually allowed to make the calls for fouls, but they can alert the center ref to do that. But the fact that if you let the game get that physical to where it's happening at that point, then that's on the referee. You've got to maintain control. That's the first rule.
Yeah, maintain control and then stay consistent with it. And I think that game would have gone the other way if Norway gets that second score where they were. I mean, I know the Holland guy is supposed to be really strong, but there is no way that England's player who flopped on his back, that was amazing, actually.
Yeah, again, to your point, the worst ref you can ever have is an inconsistent ref. Because if you don't know where the strike zone is, if you don't know, what's a foul and what's not a foul, if it's a foul this time but not the next time, you don't know how to play.
That's right.
You can adjust and play accordingly.
Yep. Same in basketball. All right, Rocontour, I appreciate it. Very interesting. I like to know what's going on in the World Cup. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Very good.
France, Spain.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to be for the French, but I don't know who beats Spain. I mean, I'm gonna have to be for the Spanish. Golly, I misspoke.
Right,
but I don't know who beats
about to
France.
wonder about you for a moment there.
No,
we got roll Spain.
Yeah, I'm for Spain right now.
Okay.
But even though they're a bunch of commies, but still, I mean, when you got look at our choices. You know who we got to be for, right? So this is the American progression. I think we're for the Stars and Stripes.
Okay.
Then we had to go to the Vikings.
Okay.
And now I think we're probably for Argentina.
Are they the big underdog at this point?
Well, I mean, they won it last time.
Oh, that's right.
But I think they're the underdog. And I don't think they're as good as the European teams. But I'm kind of going to have to be for Messi and the Argentinians.
No,
which probably means I'm going to lose again.
Probably.
I'm running out of
soccer,
people.
Would you expect to do well at this?
No. I'm just being for whoever I want to be.
Yeah, I know France is the big favorite, so I'm with Spain, I suppose.
And now somebody's mad because some Spanish leader or former prime minister or something said, "Well, hey, none of those people over on the French teams, French." And they're all acting like, oh, he's a racist now and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I mean.
That took long enough to start up, didn't it?
Well, it's like, I think Rocontour is the one who told us that Morocco had more mainland French players on their team than the French team has.
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
The world is a Disney film.
They need to have some rules like, you know what?
Yes.
They need to get Tommy Tuberville. And he can set up the guidelines for residents.
And it'll be clear.
For FIFA, right.
That's all we want, a little clarity.
What does it mean to be able to play soccer for France?
Let me tell you, that penalty for flopping is going to be a little more painful going forward.
Oh.
Nick Saban and Tommy Tuberville is the new FIFA.
That'd be good. That would be good.
Straighten them out.
Absolutely.
Real quick.
Where do these players live? Hey, get into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. Thank you for listening to the show. Let's get out to some of your phone calls. Let's see. Charles I is on the other topic. Good. Charles I of Dewey, welcome to the program.
Hey, Scott. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I just love to research all this stuff that anybody might be doing that's like not good stuff for politicians to be doing, okay?
Yes.
And I'm familiar with Buck Sexton because he does do something I really, really like. He calls out persons in the military that just check the box, but they're not really conservative Republicans. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like he's really he really said a lot about Dan Crenshaw, Houston area. Not
oh,
being
really?
really
Was Buck Sexton against Dan Crenshaw?
Yeah, he sure was. Several other people like Adam Kinzinger, however you say it, lots
Yep.
of them, because he's saying that there's a whole difference in somebody just having something done and actually having a conservative viewpoint. So that's the thing about him that I like. And that kind of hit, you saying that, I've been researching. Remember when we talked about Chris Swanson in Michigan and Tim Ballard in Utah and
Yes.
and here all being connected to each other? Well, I got to dive in deeper into that, and it really kind of has to do with not necessarily being the conservative person that you say you are, like with Chris Swanson. And you're not going to believe what I found.
What'd you find?
I found that I found that in that OUR, Haiti Dominican Republican thing, there were only like 20 to 40 of them in there,
Mm-hmm.
and that of that, 8 to 12 of them ran for office. Isn't that something? And that lots of money would come from the head honcho guy that when Tim kind of left would organize to get all of them money when they specifically didn't need it. And let me tell you, they ran for sheriff in Maricopa County. They ran for sheriff in Dade, Miami.
Uh-huh.
They ran for state senate in Provo, Utah, I think it is, or what the other Utah city, I can't think, and for sheriff in a city in Utah. And I was like, wow, this is really something else that you would have kind of what you'd say is check the box. We've just got some kind of background
Mm-hmm.
putting an effort forth in that kind of way. Not necessarily saying it's underhanded, but it just catches anybody's eye and attention that, especially when I looked at that the persons that weren't necessarily a part of it were still contributing money and helping in every kind of way they could and all of them aware of each other and all of them kind of buddies.
It does statistically to have a group that larger percentage all decides to go run for office. Which, look, I'm not opposed to that. I'm for more groups deciding to run for office, but it does seem odd.
Yeah, it just seems odd, and it would make you feel better if you absolutely knew that they're like with Chris Swanson. The Republicans, he was Republican and he became Democrat as necessary. And then, he didn't run this time. He ran the last election for Michigan governor, 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see somebody that's like that is the very first person that at the George Floyd getting seen on national news takes his, uniform part of it off to march with the marchers for that, and that's a part of the collective group, that kind of gets you thinking. I mean, it does me.
No, I don't disagree with you.
That was one of the things I was on. Since you brought up Buck Sexton, I just thought I'd throw that in there. And I thought you might be a little interested in knowing that all those other people, as part of it, also ran for position.
Yeah, no, I did not know that number was so high.
Unusual.
Charles I, thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot. Take
All right, man,
care.
see you. It is odd, Scott. I mean, it's nothing nefarious, but it's just like, really?
It's quite a coincidence.
Of that group who goes down to Haiti and is going to fix the problems that I'm for fixing the problems, that many decide to run for all these offices. But maybe they said, hey, look, if we're going to stop some of this trafficking stuff, maybe we all do need to be sheriffs or senators or congressmen or whatever. I mean,
plausible.
yeah, I mean that's a positive thing. Just wow, and maybe it's a certain kind of person that does that is, more likely to want to do that too. I don't know.
Certainly,
it is interesting though. But then that's one of the things we talk about here is look, let us know all the facts, let us know all the things, and then let us arrive at our own conclusions.
That's right. The more you know.
Don't just keep stuff from us. Like why did we not know before that Buck Sexton was a CIA guy?
That still blows me away. I had no idea.
Yeah, you just think about how many of these folks came from the government. You look at, I don't know if y'all have ever seen, but how many people are big, high up at these big tech companies are all former CIA intelligence agency kind of people, and you're like, just because you work in an intelligence agency doesn't mean that you're the most intelligent.
Of course not. But I'm starting to wonder if everybody isn't working for the CIA except for me.
Maybe
look around everywhere. Are you working for the intelligence agency?
Well, I'm not, but I'm applying because apparently that's how you really take off. All of a sudden, you just got 1 million followers. All of a sudden,
Right. Yeah. Well, don't call us. We'll call you. That kind of thing.
The last note I got from him was, Scott, we're trying to help you, but for us to blow you up on social media, you would have to post something. Just do something. And I'm like, I refuse.
Yeah, I'll write you a letter.
I tell you what I did the other day. I was looking at something on the interwebs, and I was like, I gotta read the comments on this. So I'm on my phone. I'm trying to get to the comments, and then it pops up like, what was it? Like I had retweeted it, and I'm like, I'm not trying to tweet this. I just want the comments. So I spent 5 minutes trying to tell it to untweet. And I don't even remember what the subject was. But, sometimes your phone just is not working right, and you're like,
Sure.
Comment. I'm trying to click it on. I know I don't heart it. I don't heart this. Unheart. Just give me the comments. And it retweeted it.
Trying to bail out of that one.
I'm like, I don't want people saying. I knew it. I was trying to see what the comments were about some ridiculous post, and it reposted me. Scott, you just have a fat finger. No, there's no doubt about that. I hate not having your own little keypad. Remember when it was a BlackBerry and you could feel it?
Oh, man.
I mean, SKY. Now every time I'm typing, it's like WJ, whatever's beside Y.
It's made for these little bitty female Japanese fingers.
Yes, little girly fingers, not these manly, muscular.
Stupid
I have
fingers
muscles
like
on top of muscles, even in my knuckles.
Man, I've wore out some of the letters on my phone. Just
yeah, mine. You know what ones wore out on mine? The N and the O.
N-O.
Yeah. Do you want to do this? Nope. Do you want to go there? Nope. Do you want to help so and so? Nope.
Speaking of, I used to get more involved in social media debates and arguments and whatnot, and I kind of learned over the time that there's absolutely no point. You're not going to convince anyone, but I'm still tempted to jump in. Do you have that problem?
Oh no, I've never gotten in social media arguments.
Really? Well, and you don't drink, you don't do drugs. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Come on.
I display all my insecurities and my issues here on this program every 3 hours a day. Yes, this is it. This is my coping.
So the way I've solved it, though, I know some people out there can relate. Some of you normal people out there can relate to what I'm talking about, and it's so frustrating getting those arguments anyway. So I just quit for a while, and because I know more than everybody else, right?
Right? Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially
Sure,
listening to this show all the time.
That's right. So I just quit for a while because it's such a frustrating exercise anyway. Now what I do is I come up with it's a contest, the minimum number of words, like a 2 or 3 or 4 word response, just to make other people wonder. What is he talking about?
What did he mean?
It's some kind of code.
Oh, I got you. Just
It's
vague
very
enough
effective.
that makes people think.
Yes, and it's quite effective if you just want to, mess around a little bit on that and not really get yourself
Just to
emotionally
respond.
involved. Yes.
Oh,
Try it.
I
Try
need to
it.
get out there on social media. It's a playground I've not been on, but
Be smart. Don't. You've done so well. So far.
yeah, but you got to. Apparently, you got to do that to grow. That's one of the metrics. They're like, oh, how many followers you have?
Well, if you're going to do it, I would recommend. Well, there's that. But if you're going to do it, would highly recommend be unique, be different, because everybody's just trying to win an argument.
Yeah,
They're not listening. So how do you solve that? You make them listen. Do something
to make them
a
listen.
little different. Yeah. That's my thing. What I think. What is he talking about, man?
What's he saying?
I had it just for the first couple of words, and then what does that mean? And they're completely off their game after that.
Then just messes them up. I got
Yeah.
you. Do we have time for Soldier Boy? What's he talking about?
No, he's got
$350 million bond issue. I'm sure it's for something good down there.
Oh, it's in Montgomery.
How long does it take to pay off $350 million?
Well, they didn't disclose that.
It's got to be 30 years. Is it going to be a 30-year mortgage?
I don't know. We'll find out.
We got to get it now. We got to lock it in now before interest rates go up, and whatever we're going to build is going to be more expensive sooner.
Well, that's that. So we'll find out, but we'll have to wait.
Have to wait till after the break.
After these messages.
All right, we'll be back.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politicians.
To Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
We're back. Let's get out to your phone call. Soldier Boy, welcome to the program. I hope you're well. Happy Monday to you.
Thank you for taking my call, Scott.
Yes, sir. How are you, buddy?
Concerned.
Okay, what are we concerned about today?
Well, first of all, I want to say happy heterosexual month.
Okay. Absolutely.
I celebrate. I got my flag out there. It's called it's a blue background with a white cross on it. That's right. It's representing.
I like it. Okay, good deal.
Yeah, I figure, if they can have it, I can have it, and you know what my pronouns are: white, Christian, heterosexual male. So that, hey,
I like it.
Any of those pronouns.
You could put two crosses on it, so if they turn it sideways, it looks like XX, or maybe one do XY, just for a little extra symbolism.
Yeah, here's what I'm concerned about.
Okay.
The city of Montgomery. I know you don't live in Montgomery, but Sky, you do. Correct?
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Okay, Sky. 300. The mayor's a typical Democrat. My mama used to say it's nice to have nice things until you have to pay for it.
Uh-oh.
And it's easier to spend. And it's easy to have nice things when you're spending other people's money.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you can have even nicer things if you spend other people's children's money by making them pay for it a generation or two in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, like Sky's grandkids and my grandkids are going to have to pay down the road. That's what I'm concerned about. I mean, I'm at an age right now. It's not maybe not affect me for but here's the thing I'm concerned about: 350 to 375 million for a new convention center. Okay.
Okay.
We just bought the Montgomery Advertiser for $5.5 million.
Oh, they're building?
Yes.
Yep.
Are they still in business? Are they just running it out of somebody's house?
Yeah, not at that location.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then so then we also, how much money Sky, did we give to Jackson Hospital City?
Well, contingent upon some other things, but it's the city of Montgomery. I want to say $20 million.
I think it's even more than that.
It may be more than that.
Like 25, 30, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and here's what gets to my point. We're going to go deep in debt. People are leaving. When people leave, your tax base goes down. Am I right?
That's correct.
Rob?
Yes.
Okay. People, you'd be surprised.
Because it's usually only the producers who leave.
Oh, absolutely. That's what happened in New York City. They left. Donnie thinks he's going to have people who don't produce to charge them more taxes when they're not there anymore.
Well, you can see it in Democrat-run cities all over the country, Detroit, St. Louis, Cleveland, etc. The producers, the productive people depart.
Look at Sean Hannity moved what? He moved to Florida?
Oh, I don't know. I don't keep up with his show. Did he?
Okay. Well, no, yeah, he moved for a simple reason, because the taxes were going so high and it was ridiculous. Okay. It gets to a point where it's getting to the point. How much do we have to spend, Scott? How much are somebody going to say, whoa, it's nice having things, but we can't keep going into debt and selling our future of our children down the road?
Yeah. Well, somebody's got to ask in the river region, and there's always an answer. They try to have an answer, but y'all have a pretty nice convention center, right? Right there by the big hotel, the Renaissance Hotel.
Built in the 70s, yes.
Yeah. But, I mean, are y'all having events that everybody's like, man, we got this giant event.
We have the new Renaissance area as well. So, yes, pretty up to date, yes, on that end.
And how are you going to pay that? How are you going to get paid that bond money on it?
Well, they'll have an economic feasibility study that'll say they're just going to bring so much money in that you just need to build 5 or 6 of these things.
Right. Wait a minute. That sounds like build it and they will come.
That's exactly what they're going to say.
You got it.
It's not the field of dreams. It's the field of screams.
Yeah.
But it's nothing for the existing citizens. It's something to bring in tourists that will help the economy. That's the idea.
Sky, what is our motto? Supposedly, the city of what? Dreams.
That's what the ad says. Yes.
Well, I got a shirt that I had made up. A friend of mine made it for me. It says "City of Screams."
Does it have bullet holes in it already?
And you should see how many people looked at me and asked me where I bought it and wanted some when I went to the city council meeting last time.
Oh man!
I tell you,
I bet that was a hit.
Oh, I got some strange looks, but don't tell me it's the City of Dreams. That was, I think that was under was it not Bobby Bright? I think it was Mayor Strange. That was his motto? But you know one thing Mayor Strange was right about, Scott?
What's that?
So goes education, so goes Montgomery. How true.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Soldier Boy.
Hey, Scott, do you want to know something?
What?
I got to say one more thing real quick.
Okay.
You know, everybody talks about getting rid of guns and get gun control, right?
Yes.
Look at the numbers, the AI, and see how many people die in automobile accidents. I guess we should get rid of our cars too now, right, Scott?
Well, we should. That's what they say.
Cars are killing people.
Yeah. Well, hey, don't give them any ideas. They want to force us all into mass public transit already.
Scott, it's just I'm just concerning about the spending of the money going crazy. Let's live within our means, Scott.
I agree with you.
That's typical Democrat, progressive, liberal, progressive. Spend other people's money. Don't worry about down the road. We just look at. I mean, Kamala's still probably paying and enjoying those what do you call it, those buses that were supposed to run on electricity that never got built. Oh God, they went bankrupt.
Yeah, Soldier Boy, I appreciate it. So the thing is, going along with what Soldier Boy's saying, and look, it's just something to be looked at. Is that this is my opinion, okay? That some of these cities that are larger, the blue dot cities, they will go and advocate for things to be built. And they'll have all their little studies done and all that kind of stuff, and the dollar is going to roll over this many times, and it's going to be amazing. I just want people to ask themselves, is it really being built for the citizens, or is it being built so that someone who may be a political friend or may not be can make money off the construction today in real time, and oftentimes someone makes money off the finance?
Oh, there's that angle.
There used to be politicians who were heavily involved in bond issues for the cities, states, everybody. And lo and behold, influential people are like, man, y'all need one of these ballparks. Y'all need one of these convention centers. Y'all need one of these amphitheaters. Y'all need, you need to fix all the roads this week. Like all in 1 week? Yes, all in 1 week. But we don't have money for that. Yeah, I can help you with that.
Yeah, 1% fee on $375 million adds up to quite a nice sum.
Is that what the fee is? I thought you used to be
well,
able
I'm
to
just
hire
saying,
that.
well, right, but 1% alone, start thinking about that, that's a lot of money.
Let's see. What's the finder fee for most municipal bond issues? Let's see. I called it a finder fee. Hopefully AI can help me out with this. Is it going to be 1%, 0.5%? Underwriter's fee, placement agent fee ranges from 1% to 3% of the total bond value.
I was lowballing it.
So from $3 to $9, $10 million.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I've changed my mind. If Sky and I can get the placement agent fee, we are absolutely for this new project. I'm passionately for it.
This is going to save the city, I'm sure.
Oh, look, there'll be people from all over the world coming here.
We're going to have to build a electronic rail system after this just to bring all the
just
people
to transport all the people to the convention center. I think we may have to have an expandable one on tracks that'll open up and be even bigger if we need to.
Monorail.
Somebody get Kay Ivey on the phone. This thing needs to be $1 billion. She's $1 billion K. Everything she touches turns into billions.
That's right.
Not bullion, billions.
Billions with a B.
We'll be back. Maybe.
Scott Beason, president of ARP, Alabama Recovering Politician.
Alabama Unfiltered Radio with Scott Beason.
Welcome back into the program, everybody. Not a lot of time left in the show. I don't know which place I really want to go here on this one. No, that's too depressing. Let's do this one. CNBC. Y'all remember that? That's a financial channel, Sky?
Somewhat, with a twist. Yeah. A little lean to them. But
Harris Rigby over at Not the Bee has the story. CNBC put out their list of the worst states to live in.
Oh, really? I'm sure this isn't tainted or left-leaning at all.
Well, see, this is a financial place.
Allegedly.
And they historically, a number of these states have been the top states for business.
You don't say.
Yes.
So a financial site, you would naturally assume.
So this is what CNBC says.
All right.
CNBC is placing increasing emphasis on quality of life. One of the 10 categories of competitiveness in our annual America's Top States for Business study. It is our annual ranking of every state's business climate, now in its 20th year, under this year's methodology. Note, this year's methodology. The category makes up 11.6% of a state's overall score, up from about 10%. So they're putting more weight on the quality of life.
And I wonder what determines that.
Well, let me give you the top 10. These are the worst states.
Worst states for business.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, which also translates into live in.
All right.
Okay. So they've changed it to worst states for live in. So they're modifying their worst states or their best states for business list. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the worst ones to live in. You don't want to live in one of these. Number 10, Arkansas. Southern state.
Yes. Razorbacks.
Red state.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Number 9, Oklahoma.
Sooners.
Southern state, arguably. SEC state, at least.
Yeah.
Red state. Number 8, worst state to live in, according to CNBC. Alabama.
Oh, we made the list.
Southern state, red state. Very unfortunately, we're not further up on this list. Number 7, Missouri. Somewhat southern state.
I'm starting to see a trend.
Red state.
Completing here. Okay.
Number 6, Utah. Not southern, but somewhat conservative.
Yes. Mormons.
Red state. Well, yeah. Georgia is number 5. We're getting to the worst state to live in, according to CNBC. Number 4, Louisiana.
Man.
Southern state, red state. Number 3, Indiana.
Oh, the Hoosiers make the list.
Yeah, because they're going to take away the Chicago Bears team to Indiana, right?
Yes.
Illinois, perfect, wonderful place. Indiana, one of the worst states to live in. The second worst state to live in, according to CNBC, Texas.
Man. Wow.
And
business
the
is booming in Texas.
worst state to live in, according to CNBC.
What's left?
Which is kind of odd because they're trying to be more squishy.
I got it.
You got it? Tennessee.
Yeah.
You're very good, Sky. Very good.
Left, man.
So the top 10, the 10 worst states: Arkansas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Missouri, Utah, Georgia, Louisiana, Indiana, Texas, Tennessee. Seeing a
yes,
common
definitely a
thing
trend
there.
and a common denominator.
Now note that they said, hey, we're putting a more emphasis on quality of life. We got to know what kind of things. What do you mean quality of life?
I know what that means. That's code for.
Here's the responses. One person says, laughing my butt off, this is just a liberal listing out the states they think are the most bigoted. Just moved to Tennessee, can assure you that the gay communists at CNBC are wrong and just hate happy patriots. One person says, yes, this is the worst place ever. Please do not move here.
Right. Please.
Please don't come. This is also the list of some of the states that the most people are moving to.
I noticed that.
And so CNBC has to say this is a terrible, terrible place. Here's the one. I got 1 minute left. Bennett's Phylactery said the reason states wind up on this list, not exaggerating, not enough abortions, not gay enough, food insecurities, not enough human resources rules, not enough gun laws, not enough therapists, not enough working moms, not enough affirmative action.
I think he's going to something there.
He says CNBC says these are only good places to live in if they let you kill your kids or trans them.
Well, the truth hurts sometimes.
I'm glad we made the list. CNBC, we love you. Y'all be good. Be safe. We'll see y'all tomorrow.